The radio crackled with static. "This is SEAL Team Charlie. We're pinned down, taking heavy fire from all sides, requesting immediate backup." The response came back cold. "Negative, Charlie. No assets available. You're on your own." What happened next would become the most legendary rescue in Special Forces history. Lieutenant Commander Ryan Titan Blake pressed his back against the jagged limestone wall, bullets whining overhead like angry hornets. His tactical vest was shredded, his left arm bleeding from shrapnel, and his rifle was down to its last magazine. Around him, 11 other Navy SEALs were spread across the narrow ravine floor, each man fighting for his life against overwhelming odds in this unmapped territory. "Contact front! Contact left! Contact right!" The radio chatter was desperate as enemy muzzle flashes lit up the canyon walls from 4 directions. They'd walk straight into the perfect killing ground, in what intelligence called Grid Zone Unknown 7. Sergeant First Class Angela Wraith Foster was positioned 25 meters to Blake's left, her designated marksman rifle tracking targets along the northern cliff face. "I count at least 52 hostiles," she reported through gritted teeth. "Maybe more. They've got us in a complete kill box." The mission had started as a routine reconnaissance. Satellite imagery had detected unusual activity in this uncharted region of the Carpathian Mountains, coordinates that didn't exist on any official map. SEAL Team. Charlie was tasked with investigating potential hostile installations, gathering intelligence, and reporting back before enemy forces could establish permanent operations in this strategically important but completely unknown territory. But intelligence had been catastrophically wrong about this being an uninhabited wilderness area. They'd been wrong about the terrain accessibility. Most critically, they'd been wrong about the enemy's sophisticated defensive preparations in what appeared to be a naturally formed but tactically perfect ambush site. This wasn't some random encounter with local militia. This was a professional military unit with advanced equipment that had been using this hidden valley as a training ground and operational base, completely off the radar of Western intelligence services. "Titan, we've got heavy machine guns positioned on the eastern ridgeline," Chief Petty Officer Harrison screamed over the thunderous gunfire. "They're trying to pin us down for a complete massacre." Blake keyed his radio with blood-slicked fingers. "Mountain Command, this is Charlie Actual. We are in extreme danger in Grid Zone Unknown 7, surrounded by superior numbers with rapidly depleting ammunition. How copy?" The response took nearly a full minute, an absolute eternity in life-or-death combat time. "Charlie Actual, this is Command. We show no available air assets for immediate close air support. Army aviation is 70 minutes out due to terrain difficulties. Can you hold your current position?" 70 minutes might as well have been 70 hours. At their current catastrophic rate of ammunition expenditure, they'd be completely overrun within 15 minutes maximum. "Negative, Command. We need immediate assistance now, or you're going to be explaining 12 KIA to families back home." Another devastating barrage of automatic weapons fire forced Blake to press himself deeper behind his rocky cover. The enemy was methodically advancing from multiple directions, using professional fire and movement tactics, combined with intimate knowledge of this unmapped terrain that gave them every possible advantage. The hostile forces were equipped with state-of-the-art thermal imaging, sophisticated night vision capabilities, and military-grade communication systems. They knew the exact position of each SEAL, and were coordinating their assault with the precision of a military academy textbook operation. Suddenly, a distinctly different sound cut through the chaos of battle, a sharp, authoritative crack that stood out clearly from the enemy's assault rifles and support weapons. One of the prominent muzzle flashes on the eastern ridge went permanently dark. "What the hell was that sound?" Foster called out, rapidly adjusting her tactical scope. Before anyone could formulate a response, another precise crack echoed from somewhere high above the hidden valley. A second enemy position fell permanently silent. Blake grabbed his high-powered binoculars, desperately scanning the towering cliff faces that surrounded their position like natural fortress walls. "Anyone have any visual contact on friendly forces?" "Negative," came the immediate chorus of responses. "We're completely isolated down here." But they weren't isolated. Someone was positioned up there, watching, calculating, preparing to engage with deadly precision. The mysterious sniper fire continued with mechanical, almost supernatural accuracy. Every single shot resulted in a confirmed kill. Every elimination removed an enemy combatant who had been pouring devastating suppressive fire into the valley just seconds before. "Holy Christ," whispered Petty Officer Davis, his voice filled with awe. "Whoever that shooter is, they haven't missed a single target." The enemy fighters were beginning to show signs of serious panic. Frantic commands were being shouted in what sounded like multiple Eastern European languages as they desperately attempted to locate the source of the precision sniper fire that was systematically destroying their carefully coordinated assault. Blake's tactical radio suddenly crackled with a completely unfamiliar voice. Calm, controlled, and speaking with quiet, deadly professional authority. "SEAL Team Charlie, this is Ghost 6. Maintain your defensive positions and allow me to work." "Ghost 6, this is Charlie Actual. Immediately identify yourself. What's your unit designation and mission authority?" "No official unit, Charlie. Just an interested observer who strongly disapproves of seeing American servicemen getting shot at by foreign operatives." Another precise crack from the elevated position. Another enemy gunman permanently eliminated. The mysterious voice continued with tactical professionalism. "I count 44 remaining hostiles. They're attempting to execute a coordinated flanking maneuver on your southwestern approach. Strongly recommend you immediately reposition 4 men to cover that critical vulnerability." Blake didn't hesitate for even a second. Foster, Davis, Chen, Williams, Southwest defensive positions, move now. As his men repositioned with practiced military efficiency, the unknown sniper's fire shifted seamlessly to provide comprehensive covering fire. It was like having a guardian angel with perfect marksmanship and unlimited ammunition, but Blake had never heard of any friendly forces operating in this completely uncharted territory. "Go 6, what's your current operational position? How did you acquire intelligence about our mission parameters?" "Observed your helicopter insertion at 0400 hours local time. Been monitoring your movement and intercepting enemy communications since your arrival. When you encountered this prepared ambush, I determined you would require immediate tactical support for survival. Are you currently active military personnel?" An extended pause filled with the sound of distant gunfire. Then, "I was military. Different service branch, different operational theaters. The precision sniper fire was absolutely devastating in its clinical professional effectiveness. Each shot was placed with surgical accuracy, systematically targeting the most tactically dangerous enemy positions first. Crew-served weapons, mortar teams, and field commanders directing the coordinated assault. But it wasn't merely exceptional marksmanship. The mysterious shooter was demonstrating comprehensive understanding of advanced special operations tactics that clearly indicated extensive professional military training. He was systematically forcing the enemy to abandon their prepared positions by eliminating their protective cover, then methodically engaging them as they scrambled for alternative defensive positions. Charlie Actual, be advised, enemy field commanders attempting to coordinate a fighting withdrawal toward the valley's northern exit. If they successfully reach those concealed vehicles, they'll return with significant reinforcements and heavy weapon systems. Blake could observe coordinated movement along the valley's narrow northern exit through his tactical scope. Go 6, are you capable of interdicting their withdrawal route? Currently developing a tactical solution to that problem. A series of rapid, precisely timed shots echoed from the towering mountain peaks surrounding their position. The enemy retreat instantly transformed into complete chaos as their entire command structure was systematically eliminated with shots that seemed to defy the laws of physics and marksmanship. Go 6, this is absolutely incredible precision shooting. What's your professional military background? The voice that responded carried the weight of extensive combat experience and something that sounded like carefully controlled emotion. Navy Special Warfare, multiple classified deployments, ancient history now. What's your operational call sign, sailor? Another lengthy pause. You can call me Phantom. The tactical situation was dramatically shifting in their favor. What had appeared to be a hopeless last stand was rapidly becoming a methodical elimination of enemy forces. But Blake understood that even the most skilled precision marksman couldn't maintain this incredible pace of engagement indefinitely. Phantom, what's your current ammunition status? Sufficient for all anticipated operational requirements. That wasn't a particularly detailed tactical assessment, but Blake didn't press for specifics. Whoever Phantom was, he was systematically saving their lives with every perfectly placed shot. The hostile force was reduced to fewer than 28 fighters, and their professionally coordinated assault had completely devolved into desperate individual survival attempts. Some were frantically trying to escape up the steep valley walls. Others were desperately seeking better defensive positions among the rocky terrain formations. Phantom's precision fire adapted instantly to each developing tactical situation. Fleeing targets were engaged at extreme range with shots that would have been completely impossible for conventional military snipers. Enemy fighters seeking concealed positions discovered that their hiding places offered absolutely no protection from a shooter positioned at superior elevation with complete observation of the entire valley floor. Charlie team, I'm observing significant movement in the cave network along the western cliff face. Appears they're attempting to establish a fortified fallback position with interlocking fields of fire. Blake peered through his tactical scope with intense concentration. Confirmed visual contact. That's going to create serious tactical problems if they successfully establish defensive positions there. Not going to be an issue much longer. What happened next demonstrated why Navy Special Warfare snipers are considered among the world's absolute elite precision marksmen. Phantom engaged targets concealed inside cave openings using precisely calculated ricochets off the limestone cave walls, utilizing the mountainous terrain to redirect his shots into positions that should have been completely impossible to engage with direct fire. How in God's name are you making those impossible ricocheting shots? Foster asked over the tactical radio, her voice filled with professional amazement. Advanced ballistics calculations, environmental physics, and 25 years of field experience, came the matter-of-fact response. The enemy mercenary force was systematically collapsing. What had begun as a coordinated ambush by 52 well-trained professional fighters was ending as a desperate struggle for survival by fewer than 12 completely demoralized combatants. But those final 12 represented the most dangerous threat. Cornered, desperate, and with absolutely nothing left to lose, they were preparing for a final suicidal assault on the SEAL's defensive positions. Charlie Actual, immediate warning. The remaining hostiles are massing for a direct frontal assault. They're preparing to attempt overrunning your position with everything they have remaining. Blake checked his ammunition status with growing concern. Less than one magazine remaining. Around him, his men were reporting similarly critical ammunition shortages. Phantom, we're running critically low on ammunition. Can you disrupt their final assault? Negative. They're utilizing terrain dead space that I cannot effectively engage from my current firing position. You're going to have to handle this final engagement independently. The last desperate assault erupted with suicidal intensity. The surviving enemy fighters charged across the valley floor in a final coordinated wave, firing continuously as they advanced, hoping to close the distance before the Americans could bring effective defensive fire to bear against their attack. It was precisely the type of close-quarters engagement that Navy SEALs train for constantly under the most realistic and demanding conditions possible. Blake and his men maintained fire discipline until the attackers closed to within 35 meters, then opened up with controlled, precisely aimed shots that dropped the first wave of charging combatants. The second wave continued their attack through the bodies of their fallen comrades. "Reloading!" Harrison shouted as his weapon ran completely empty. "Covering fire!" Foster immediately shifted her designated marksman rifle to protect him during his vulnerable reload period. The battle had become intensely personal, individual, and absolutely lethal. Each shot carried critical importance. Each second determined the difference between survival and death. Phantom's authoritative voice cut through the combat chaos. "Charlie team, drop flat immediately. Execute now." Blake didn't question the urgent command for even a microsecond. Everyone hit the deck immediately. The SEALs pressed themselves flat against the rocky valley floor as Phantom's rifle cracked repeatedly from his elevated position. The remaining enemy fighters, caught completely exposed during their final desperate charge, were eliminated, with shots that somehow threaded perfectly between the prone SEALs with accuracy that completely defied human capability. Then, suddenly, impossibly, the entire hidden valley fell into complete silence. Blake raised his head with extreme caution. No movement visible anywhere, no muzzle flashes, no incoming fire of any type. "Charlie team, sound off immediately." One by one, his men reported their status: wounded, completely exhausted, ammunition critically depleted, but miraculously still alive. "Phantom, this is Charlie Actual. Tactical situation appears completely secure. What's your current operational status? Absolute radio silence. Phantom, respond immediately. Still nothing whatsoever." Blake grabbed his binoculars and systematically scanned the cliff faces where the precision sniper fire had been originating throughout the engagement. No sign of movement, no indication that anyone had ever been positioned there. "Foster, did you acquire any visual identification of our mysterious guardian?" "Negative contact throughout the entire engagement. Never saw him once, but whoever he is, he just saved 12 American lives today." The emergency extraction arrived 48 minutes later. 3 Black Hawks with Apache escort, carrying heavily armed Marines who discovered 12 extremely grateful Navy SEALs and 52 dead enemy combatants scattered throughout the valley in shooting positions that defied tactical explanation. During the comprehensive operational debriefing, Blake attempted unsuccessfully to identify their mysterious savior. Military intelligence had absolutely no record of any friendly sniper teams operating anywhere within 300 miles of Grid Zone Unknown 7. The Marines who conducted the extraction confirmed no other American forces were deployed in this completely uncharted operational area. "Sir," Blake told his commanding officer during the classified after-action review, "someone with extensive special operations training was positioned in Overwatch. Someone with advanced military equipment and professional training. He understood our tactical procedures, our radio protocols, our unit communications. This absolutely wasn't some random civilian with hunting equipment." Captain Morrison reviewed the detailed operational report with obvious skepticism. Lieutenant Commander, you're officially reporting that an unidentified sniper eliminated 52 enemy combatants from elevated positions, coordinated professional fire support with your team using proper military procedures, then disappeared completely without leaving any traceable evidence. Yes, sir. That's exactly what I'm officially reporting happened. And this Phantom claimed Navy Special Warfare background? Confirmed. He demonstrated advanced knowledge of precision marksmanship techniques that would be completely consistent with that specialized training background. Morrison closed the classified file with bureaucratic finality. Officially, SEAL Team Charlie successfully accomplished reconnaissance objectives and effectively defended against enemy assault with 0 friendly casualties in Grid Zone Unknown 7. There will be absolutely no mention of unidentified personnel in any operational documentation. Sir, with all due respect, that's the absolute end of discussion, Blake. Sometimes in military operations, unexplained events occur in remote areas. We don't always receive complete explanations. We simply express gratitude and continue our mission responsibilities. But Blake couldn't simply continue without investigation. That night, he returned to the Hidden Valley with a small reconnaissance team, methodically searching the cliff faces for any evidence of their mysterious protector. On a rocky ledge 500 feet above, where the SEALs had made their desperate defensive stand, they discovered a single shell casing. 338 Lapua Magnum, premium match-grade ammunition. The preferred caliber of military precision marksmen operating at extreme ranges. Next to it, carefully carved into the solid limestone with a combat knife, was a simple inscription. The only easy day was yesterday. Navy SEAL motto. Blake secured the shell casing and gazed across the valley where 12 men had been saved by someone they'd never seen, never met, and would probably never encounter again during their military service. 10 months later, Blake was stationed stateside, presenting at an advanced special operations symposium about small unit tactics and leadership under extreme combat conditions. During the evening reception, an older man approached him. Perhaps 60 years old, deeply weathered features, gray beard, wearing a conservative business suit that couldn't completely conceal his unmistakable military bearing. Lieutenant Commander Blake? Yes, sir. I attended your presentation about that valley engagement in the Carpathians. Extremely interesting tactical scenario. Blake studied the man's weathered face with growing recognition. Something about his calm, authoritative voice seemed strangely familiar. Were you operating in that area, sir? The man smiled slightly. I might have been conducting independent operations in that general region. Blake's pulse accelerated with sudden recognition. Phantom? The man's expression remained carefully neutral, but his eyes held an unmistakable glint of acknowledgement. Sir, I never had the opportunity to properly thank you for what you accomplished. No thanks required, son. You and your team were executing your sworn duty. I simply happened to be executing mine. What exactly was your mission in that valley, sir? The man was already walking away through the crowded reception hall. Ensuring that good sailors make it home safely to their families where they belong. He disappeared into the crowd before Blake could ask another question or request proper identification. Later that evening, Blake searched extensively for any trace of him. Hotel guest registrations, conference attendance records, anything that might identify the mysterious individual. Nothing could be located through any official channels. But at the hotel bar, the bartender mentioned that an older gentleman had specifically left something for the Navy Presentation Officer. It was a small wooden presentation box containing a military challenge coin, Navy Special Warfare Association. On one side was the traditional SEAL trident. On the other side, hand engraved with obvious care and precision, were 12 small stars arranged in perfect tactical formation. One star for each SEAL who returned home alive that day. Blake carried that challenge coin throughout the remainder of his distinguished naval career. Sometimes, during the most dangerous and seemingly impossible missions, when tactical situations looked completely hopeless and backup seemed absolutely unavailable, he would touch it carefully and remember that sometimes assistance arrives from the most unexpected sources in the most remote locations. The Hidden Valley in the Carpathians became known among special operations personnel as Guardian Valley. The official military records might not acknowledge what actually transpired there, but the stories spread throughout the tight-knit community anyway. Stories about a mysterious precision marksman who appears when American forces face overwhelming odds in remote locations. Someone who shoots with supernatural accuracy, coordinates like a seasoned special operations veteran, and vanishes completely without leaving any discoverable trace. The stories are never officially confirmed through proper military channels, but they're never officially denied by command authority either. And sometimes, just sometimes, when special operations teams find themselves surrounded and outnumbered in some remote, uncharted corner of the world, they hear a calm, professional voice on their tactical communications. Maintain your positions and allow me to work. Because some warriors never truly retire from protecting their brothers in arms. They just discover new methods of ensuring mission success. Blake never learned Phantom's complete identity or detailed service record, never discovered his operational history or how he came to be positioned in that hidden valley at exactly the right moment with perfect equipment and unlimited ammunition. But he learned something infinitely more valuable. In a world increasingly filled with danger and uncertainty, there are still dedicated individuals willing to stand the solitary watch in remote places. Still guardians who ask nothing in return, except the knowledge that good people return home safely to their families. The shell casing from Guardian Valley sits prominently on Blake's office desk today, a constant reminder that heroes don't always wear official uniforms, don't always follow standard operating procedures, and don't always seek public recognition or military decorations. Sometimes they simply accomplish exactly what needs to be done, then disappear back into the wilderness, patiently waiting for the next time their unique skills are desperately needed by those who serve. And in an increasingly dangerous world filled with unmapped threats, that's exactly when true warriors matter most to those who carry the burden of protecting freedom. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, you can subscribe to see more incredible stories like this one.